why I'm making this channel is because I talk a lot about my stories to a lot of people, and I'm just constantly saying the same story over and over and over again, and I'm a really lazy person, so I'm deciding to make this channel so when people ask me about stories and what's happening in my life, I can just redirect them to this, and that's kind of what this is going to be. Over the course of the next couple months, I'll be putting out story time videos about different crazy stories that have happened in my life in the past 3 years since high school. Just a bunch of shit. The plan is to have at least 2 videos out every month or so, and it's just gonna kind of go from there. And if I get good feedback and response and you guys like this, then I'll make it a more frequent thing. And yeah, so the channel's pretty much just going to be me and videos of me and the shit that I do in my life, because my life's kind of crazy, unfortunately. Not really unfortunately, because it's a really fun time, but like, you know. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of videos of me telling stories. I'm repeating myself. Definitely repeating myself. As you all know, if you know me, that I always have receipts. So there will be receipts following the videos and throughout the videos, so you'll be able to get a better look at what I'm talking about. Some things about me, if you guys don't know who I am, is I'm Niyah Watson. I'm 19. I work at a thrift store. I have long nails. They're ratchet as fuck right now, but like they're real. They're kind of gross, but they'll be better in future videos. I go to a lot of shows, go to a lot of raves. Maybe one of the videos in the future I'll just have a collection of my Snapchat memories of me at raves and all the fucked up shit I see, because I see a lot of fucked up shit at raves, considering I go to raves all around Canada. I prefer going out in Toronto because I don't want to see any of the same people who I went to elementary school with or high school with downtown, and because you're seeing the same people every single weekend, you're listening to the same shitty Shape of You, Despacito, Rockstar, Post Malone remixes, and like I just really don't understand the appeal in that. So I'm going to give you a little story time about the first time I went to Montreal. The first time I went to Montreal, I got invited to Montreal by this girl who I've known for like a few years. About 4 or 5 years from now with this girl. Was never really close to her. It was just kind of always just us going at parties together, us you know, communicating through Twitter, nothing really serious. My first red flag should have been accepting an invite to a trip with a girl who I barely know, who I only know through social media and through partying, because people who party with you don't normally care about you and what ends up happening to you in really crazy situations. This girl invites me to Montreal, and she sends a message on Twitter and she says, "Hey Niyah, I'm planning on going to Montreal with some of my friends and I want to know if you're able to come with us because it'll be fun if you come." And I'm like, "Yeah, for sure, girl. Like, how much is it? Let me know the deets." "Yeah, it's only gonna be $185 for the 3 nights. We're gonna stay in a nice hotel, and yeah, and I'm gonna drive up there." So I'm like, sounds like a plan, because if someone says, "Do you want to go on a Montreal trip for $185? You're not going to deny that, because that's cheap and it's fun and it's Montreal. So I thought, so I fucking thought. Time came to it and she ended up picking me up to go to Montreal. So we're driving. Montreal's an 8-hour drive from where I am. So we end up finally getting down there, and as we're just passing into Montreal, she lets us know that she's going to her boyfriend's house. This was never mentioned or brought up to any of us prior. We had no clue her boyfriend lived in Montreal. And if she told me in advance that her boyfriend lived in Montreal, I probably wouldn't have gone, because I thought that it was just going to be us girls hanging out and doing our thing and going out in Montreal. And so we end up getting there. She says, "Yeah, so I'm gonna drop you off at my boyfriend's house and stay at the hotel. I have it booked already." So I'm like, okay, like whatever. It's like, if you want to go to your boyfriend's house, by all means, as long as we have somewhere to stay, I don't give a fuck. So we ended up dropping her off at her boyfriend's house, who lives on the complete opposite side of Montreal as to where we were. The only positive thing about this entire trip was that she luckily booked the hotel on the street in the gay village in Montreal. So it was nice being around gay people and others, and it was a good environment. So we go to find the hotel. We're driving around Montreal for probably like 45 minutes trying to find this. We couldn't find it. We parked the car. Anyway, so we finally ended up going to like finding the hotel. Hotel, so I thought. So we end up pulling up to this place, and if you ever, I can't talk about porn in this video. If you've ever seen really like hardcore porn before, before. You know at the beginning of the videos where it's like the dungeon outside, like the aerial view of like the dungeon with like the purple lighting? That's exactly what this place looked like. It looked like that sort of fucking place. We walk into this place and I'm looking at it from outside and it does not look like a hotel in the absolute slightest from the outside, but I'm like, it's Montreal, maybe it's different, maybe the French have different hotels, architecture's different, whatever. So we end up going into this place and we go there and we say the girl's name and we say, yeah, hi, I have a reservation for the 3 of us and it's under blank's name. So the guy says, okay, pulls up, starts typing, says, okay, so how are you gonna be paying today? How are we gonna be paying today, this man asks. I look at the guy and I'm like, but it's already been paid for. Like, you pull up the wrong thing, like, we already paid for it, this has been paid for through Expedia, and he's like, no it hasn't, it's just been reserved, there's been no payment made. So I'm looking at this girl and she's looking back at me and I'm like, bitch, where the f did our money go? We both pitched $185 for this trip. All three of us pitched $185 for this trip. And we apparently didn't have a reservation. And we ended up calling the girl. And I call up my phone and I say, hey, so we're currently at the check-in desk, and the guy says that he has no clue what we're talking about, that it's already been paid for. And she's, I guess, already wasted, even though we're completely sober. We've been gone for 43 minutes and this girl's already fucking buck wild wasted. We're sitting there and she's like, oh, well it's been paid for, like I paid for it. And I'm like, well clearly it hasn't been paid for, considering the man here is telling me, the owner of this hotel, once again, that it's been paid for. And she says, oh, well like, I don't know what's wrong with it. So I'm like, that's all you have to say? So I'm like, can you please talk to this man on the phone to like, let him know what's happening? And she's like, okay, sure. Like, giving such attitude, pretending she doesn't even want to speak to him, when it's like, bitch, like, why don't you want to communicate with him? Another red flag, another red flag here. They have like a 3-second conversation and he hands the phone back to me. And I'm like, wait, what? Like this man, the man was like, gives the phone back to me. And I'm like, what did you just say to him? She's like, I don't know why you gave me the phone to him. And I'm like, so you can fix the situation at hand. We're currently here, you're in shelter, you're with your boyfriend, you're staying somewhere. We're at this goddamn hotel and we don't know what to do. So nothing ends up happening. I end up hanging up the phone from her. And the guy says, okay, so like, how are you gonna pay for this? And I'm like, well, I guess we have to use our own money. So me and this girl, I really appreciate this girl. The girl who I was with was a great girl, really nice, gorgeous as fuck, and I don't know. It was, she made it very comfortable for the 12 hours it was in Montreal. Yeah, 12 hours. Keep that in mind, 12 hours. We ended up paying out of our pockets, which we shouldn't have had to do considering we brought the $185 on the room, which where did it go? Where did the fucking money go? I have no clue. So we end up getting a room at this place, 2 beds, we go up the stairs. It's literally like a dungeon. Like here it's circles, like I feel like I'm walking up fucking, you know, Fiona's fucking castle to go rescue her. So we walk in the room and there's no bathroom. And it's not just any kind of room, it's a bunk bed. So I'm like, this isn't necessarily what I thought this was going to be. I thought we're staying at a hotel. So I go back downstairs and I'm like, hi, look, I think you gave us the wrong room. This man goes, no, it's the right room. You're staying in a hostel, not a hotel. Fucking hostel. A hostel. I paid $185 for a fucking hostel with a shared bathroom, with about 13 other rooms, which were all full. I'm sitting there, I'm pissed the fuck off. The other girl's pissed the fuck off too. We end up going back to the room, and at the time I was 18. In reality, in order for me to have gone to this trip, I was still 18, right? So like my mom was still holding on to like all of my cards, all of my proper ID at the time, so I literally had to go and get my ID from her and hold on to it for about like a month. I told her I was going to the sexual health clinic, she gave me my ID, and I just kind of harbored it for a month, flew into this trip. I went through a lot to get to this trip. Like a sister went through a fucking lot to get to this trip. And we're sitting there, we unloaded all of our bags and shit, and then we ended up, I ended up going to the corner store because they sell alcohol in corner stores in Montreal, and I was 18 and I wanted to feel like a bad bitch and, you know, buy some booze at the convenience store. I bought, I think like 3 coolers. the girl had a bottle of Hennessy. I don't hate Hennessy, but she still had a bottle of Hennessy. So the plan was to like drink, go out, like just meet this girl, be a girls' night, and go out and it'd be fun. So we're going back to the hotel, and we're still trying to figure out what to do for the next 3 days because we only have this room for the one night. It was already 11 o'clock at night. Like we had the room, like we pretty much wasted our money. We're calling like the girl, trying to figure out like what the fuck to do, like what we're doing for the next 2 days. She's wasted, she's not talking to us. I'm fucking pissed at this point. I'm like, okay girl, like I'm gonna go to bed. Like we didn't even get to go out. But one night I was in Montreal, I didn't even get to go out. I'm gonna order some food, I'm going to bed. If nothing gets better by tomorrow, I'm leaving. I'm not waiting around for the next 3 days of bullshit. I'm not wasting any more of my money. The fucking bitch isn't even here to deal with us. I'm feeling set up at this point. It's just kinda suspicious that this girl had a separate plan which she didn't tell any of us about until the second we got into Montreal. I'm like, yeah, like I'm gonna go to bed, and if nothing gets better by tomorrow, I'm leaving. Fuck this. I end up going to bed. I drank like half of my Smirnoff ice can I have, probably like half of it, and I ended up going and waking up the next morning. Within the 30 seconds that I wake up, within the 30 seconds that I wake up, I roll over. The girl who's with me tries to tell me, let's call her Amy. We're gonna call this girl Amy, okay? Amy decided to tell me that, hey, so I just got off the phone with other girl and she told me some bad news and some good news. So I'm like, just telling me the fucking bad news. This shit has already been bad news. Your motherfucking friend is bad news. I'm sick and tired of this shit. So she ends up telling me that, hey, so unfortunately, Expedia stole the money. Expedia, worldwide trusted Expedia, stole the money apparently. And unfortunately, she has a place to stay. Amy can go hang out with my other friend. There was a total of 3 of us on this trip the entire time, and she told me that she can go stay with the other girl, but I have to stay in Airbnb, which she can book for me, but only pay half of. Only pay half. Only fucking pay half. I put money towards this trip, half it all. She's only gonna offer me half the money. So she wants me to spend the rest of my spending money on this fucking Airbnb for the next 2 days. By myself. In the complete opposite end of Montreal. I'm like, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. I wake up and I'm like, I'm taking a shot. I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm like to the girl, I'm like, you need to save that money to get me a fucking Coach Canada because I'm getting the fuck out of the city. And I ended up going and taking a shower and literally caught the 11 o'clock bus in the morning back to my city because why the fuck would I want to stay there for more time to watch more shit unravel, everything all fall apart? And stuff actually did fall apart. They actually ended up coming back the next day. So I got out in the best fucking timing possible. But yeah, that's just a little synopsis of one of my times in Montreal. I'll definitely be mentioning the second time I went to Montreal. I never have a good time in Montreal. I don't know, like maybe if I went in high school on like S trip or something like that, I'd have a better experience, but I don't know, man. Like I was literally in Montreal for a total of 12 hours. 12 hours! And I was already on literally from 11 o'clock to 11:25 in the morning, I was in Montreal. So is that 12 hours? I don't fucking know. I'm fucking terrible at that. Subscribe below if you guys enjoy it, and make sure to like and comment if you enjoy my videos. And I'll definitely be putting polls and stuff on Facebook and different social media sites to just kind of get a better taste of what you guys want to hear me talking about. I never talked about a lot of stories on Facebook, and if any of you guys ever want to, you know, hear a story that I've told or briefly shed some light on, definitely let me know. And yeah, so this is Ben. That's the tea. That's the fucking tea. Yeah, that's the tea with Niyah Watson. So thank you.